Hi, today we're going to be working on lesson 4, session 1. This is the beginning of our multiplying multi-digit numbers um, lessons. And so today we're going to be showing how we can multiply using 1 and 2 digit numbers. And so we're going to start out with something that you learned in most of you learned in 4th grade, and that is area models. We're just going to do a quick review of area models, and then we're going to learn a little bit about partial products. And that will be it for today. So let's get going. We're going to be working out of our Ready Classroom Math Workbook. We're going to be on pages 55 through a little bit of 57. And so go ahead and take out your math workbook and turn to page 55. All right, so you know how to multiply a 2-digit number by a 2-digit number. Now you will learn now you will multiply greater multi-digit numbers. Use what you know to try and solve the problem below. So remember, we always ask ourselves 3 questions. The 3 questions are, what is the problem about? What are we trying to find out? And what is the important information? So let's go ahead and read the problem first. So the problem says, a mall has a rectangular outdoor space that is 127 feet by 46 feet. There is a grassy section with a width of 40 feet and a cement sidewalk with a width of 6 feet. What is the area of the outdoor space in square feet? So they want to know, what is the whole space? So the first thing is, what is the problem about? The problem is about a mall with an outdoor space. That is what the problem is talking about. This mall and outside of the mall. Now, what is it that we're supposed to do? What are we trying to find out? And remember, we always kind of look for the question mark. That usually gives us a good hint of what we're trying to find out. So what we're trying to find out is, what is the area of the outdoor space in square feet? So remember, an area is length times width. And so we're trying to find out, what is 127 multiplied by 46? So that takes us to, what is our important information? So our important information is that it measures 127 feet by 46 feet. Now there's some other information here. There's a grassy section with a width of 40 feet and a cement sidewalk with a width of 6 feet. They're giving you some more information because they're helping you recognize that you can break up this 46 into 40 and 6. And then they've already broken up this 127 into hundreds, tens, and ones. They've written this in expanded form. So 127 in expanded form is 100 plus 20 plus 7. And then 46 in expanded form is 40 plus 6. So right now, I would like you to try and figure out, what is the area of this in square feet. I'm going to show you how to do the area model in a minute, but I want to see if you can solve this on your own. And they've already given you a pretty good head start. So go ahead and pause your video and try and figure out what is how many square feet is out in this rectangular outdoor space at the mall. So pause your video. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the page. I'm going to do the work on the next page. So we're going to come back here and we'll see how you did after we go through and do it on the next page. So when we go to the next page, we want to figure out, what is the area of the outdoor space. So we're going to find the product of 127 times 46. So in 4th grade, you learned how to make an area model. Sometimes it's often referred to as the window method. So the way that it works is you break up each number into expanded form. So you're going to draw your window or your area, and then you're going to break your 127 into expanded form. So 100 plus 20 plus 7. So that tells you that you're going to break your area into 3 parts because we have 100, 20, and 7. Then going up and down, we are going to take 46 and write it in expanded form. 40 plus 6. So then we're going to draw, and so now it kind of looks like a window. That's why we call it the window method. Now on the last page, they started it out for you because they let you know that that this part of the window right here was 4,000 square feet. The way that they got that number was they said, what is 40 times 100? 40 times 100 is 4,000. Now we're going to fill out this box. What is 40 times 20? 40 times 20 is 80. And then finally, what is, 800. And then what is 40 times 7? That is 280. Now we're going to do, so we did 40 times 100, 40 times 20, 40 times 7. And we got these three partial products. Now we're going to do 6 times 100 is 600. 6 times 20 is 120. And 6 times 7 is 42. So now we have our 6 partial products. To find the total square footage inside of here, or to find out what 127 times 46 is, we're going to add together all 6 of these partial products. So 4,000 plus 800. Make sure you line up your place value, or else you're going to make a mistake with your adding. 280, 600, 120, and 42. So if we add all of that up, we get 2, 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 4 is 14, 8 plus 2 is 10, 11, 12, 18. So we get a total square footage of 5,842 square feet. Now go back and check. Look at this try it section here. Did you get 4,842 square feet? If you did, way to go. If not, totally don't worry about it, because we're definitely going to go and we're going to be learning how to do multiple ways to multiply. So then you're going to figure out which way is the way that speaks to you, that is the easiest for you to do. So this is just one method. And again, this is called an area model. Now, when we're looking ahead at what we're going to be doing later over the next couple of days, we're also going to learn a different method. And this method down here is called the partial product method. Now, we're not going to learn how to do it today, but we are going to talk a little bit about it. So let's go ahead and look ahead. It says, when you multiply with multi-digit numbers, you need to pay special attention to place value. To help, you can use patterns in the numbers of zeros in the factors of a product and the number of zeros in the product. So look at the partial products used to find the product of 512 and 24. Compare the number of zeros in each partial product to the number of zeros in its factors. Look at both red and blue zeros. Describe any patterns you see. So right now, I want you to go ahead and pause your video after I give the instructions. I want you to look at each line separately, and you're looking at the number of zeros in these are all your partial products. And these are, when you break out the multiplication into, you're breaking apart in place value, these are the partial products that you get. So I want you to describe any patterns that you see. Go ahead and pause the video and describe any patterns you see. If you haven't paused your video, make sure you pause it and write down an answer and then come back. All right, when we're looking at these zeros, here's what we see. The number of zeros in the partial product is equal to the number of zeros in the two factors. Unless, there's one little thing that sometimes happens, unless you get another zero from the basic fact. I'm going to tell you what that means. So let's look at our zeros. When we're looking at those zeros, I'm going to zoom in for you. All right, when we're looking at the zeros, 4 times 10 has 1 0. Our final product has 1 0. Let's skip this one for now. 20 times 2, 1 0, 1 0. 20 times 10, 2 zeros, 2 zeros. Now, I'm going to skip here and come back up here. Now, we have originally 2 zeros here because there's 2 zeros in 500. The reason that you see 3 zeros is when you multiply 4 times 5, what is that? That's right, it's 20. So that 20 gives you one more zero. And the same thing happens down here. So we have 20 times 500 gives you your 3 red zeros, but then we have this extra zero here because 2 times 5 is 10. So I'm going to teach you how to do this tomorrow. You don't need to worry about that, but I just wanted you to kind of have an idea in thinking about how your zeros goes along with your each of your partial products. Now, I just explained this to you, but I would like you to see if you can explain in your own words why the partial product of 4 times 500 has 3 zeros and not 2. So you're looking at this line here. So why are there three zeros instead of 2? I'll give you a sentence frame to start you out. There are 3 zeros because. And then I want you to go ahead and finish that sentence for me. Go ahead and pause the video so that you have time to finish. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to number 3. So, number 3 is a reflection. It says, why is it important to pay attention to place value when you're multiplying multi-digit numbers? So what that means is, why is it important to know that this is 100, this is 20, and this is 7, this is 40, and this is 6? Why do we need to make sure that we pay attention to all of those zeros? So tell me, place value is important when multiplying because, and then I want you to give me a reason that place value is important when you're multiplying. All right, if you're not done yet, which I don't expect you to be done, please pause the video, finish writing your answer, and when you're ready to move on, you can unpause the video. We're going to go ahead and go to page 57, and we are going to look at the vocabulary word for this lesson. The big vocabulary word today is partial products. So partial products are a strategy used to multiply multi-digit numbers. The products I get in each step are the partial products. So remember, each step you go, you get some partial products. You've got partial products here, you've got partial products here. It's partial product is like part of an answer. What I know about partial products is that I add the partial products to find the total product. So each of these partial products gives you a little bit of the answer. But when you add all of them together, it gives you the total product or the answer. So one example of partial products here is multiplying 23 times 45. When we multiply 5 times 3, we get 15. When we multiply 5 times 20, hint, hint, place value, the value of this is not 2, the value is 20. 5 times 20 is 100. Then we move over to this 4, but it's not 4 times 3, it's 40 times 3 because this 4 is in the tens place. So 40 times 3 is 120, and 40 times 20 is 800. Then we add them all together to get our final product. Here, when we use the area model, we're multiplying 130 times 20. 100 plus 30 is 130 written in expanded form. We don't need to expand out 20 because it's only in tens. There's no ones or hundreds. So we can just leave it as one row. And so first we're going to multiply 20 times 100 to get the first partial product of 2,000. Then we're going to multiply 20 times 30 to get the next partial product of 600. So 2,000 plus 600 is 2,600. The 2,000 and the 600 are your partial products. Finally, we can look at what is 220 times 5. We know that 220 times 5 is the same as 200 times 5 plus 20 times 5. That is using the distributive property. The distributive property, and let me show you, I've got it right here. The distributive property is when one of the factors of a product is written as a sum, multiplying each added by the other factor before adding does not change the product. So in other words, if we have 3 times 12, that's the same as 3 times 10 plus 3 times 2. Because we just broke up this 12 into a 10 and a 2. But the 3 stayed the same because that's what we're multiplying the 12 by. So we did the same thing here, except the 5 stayed the same, and we broke apart the 220 into 220. With that, you can go ahead and finish your independent practice for the day and then move on to the next subject.